And there are just some other random scenes as well that are very reminiscent of their other music videos. Hi, welcome to the last music video review of the year. Good thing time isn't real anyways. So today we are going to be talking about Red Velvet's recent comeback with Psycho. And I thought it would be super interesting to take a look into why this comeback is so familiar, while simultaneously being so different for Red Velvet, in my opinion. Because on one hand, the music video itself feels like a mix of all different aspects, or similar aspects, shall we say, of Red Velvet music videos, but then there's also these stereotypical Red Velvet elements that I feel are lacking as well. But let's do it! Actually, I'm gonna stop you right there because I'm gonna need you to subscribe and help the algorithm by commenting on this video, or maybe sharing it with some friends you don't have. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the music video itself. So, fun fact, all SM music videos are the same, except for Red Velvet's music videos, but in and of themselves, they are the same in their own category. It seems that throughout most Red Velvet music videos, there are very consistent themes. Though we don't have a table scene in Psycho, that is seen in the vast majority of their music videos, but we do have a car scene, which is actually pretty common among their music videos, but I've also noticed that it's also pretty common among Blackpink's music videos as well. Then, of course, we have the string cutting scene that we've seen as well. Oh my god, scene. That we've also seen in Russian Roulette, and there are just some other random scenes as well that are very reminiscent of their other music videos. And of course, there are some dance moves as well. All Red Velvet dances are the same part 3, anyone? Did I even do a part 2? I didn't. I'm full of shit. And then there's even this part at the end with floating dresses, and that just really reminded me of Zimzalabim. It just evoked the feeling, you know? So to me, this is really just Red Velvet's way of evoking a sense of familiarity among their fans. So when you're watching this music video, you feel this sense of, like, I've kind of seen this before, but it's also quite different as well. And I really like that because it kind of feels like a treasure hunt. Because after watching this, I went and watched all their other music videos to be like, ooh, I recognize this and I recognize that. Maybe this is like intentional or maybe it's not. I didn't say this the first time. Everything I'm going to say in this video is my own personal interpretation of things. It doesn't mean that it necessarily reflects reality or what Red Velvet or SM Entertainment intended to do. But now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about why it's not actually that familiar, and why it is quite different for Red Velvet. So, my history with Red Velvet is that I knew them back in the day with Happiness as a 4-member girl group, and they had two-toned hair. It was pretty, different for the time. That's what I knew Red Velvet as, and as time went on, I didn't really follow them. So I've been doing a lot of catching up this year, notably because of my dance compilations. A lot of people requested Red Velvet, so I did Red Velvet. And then Zimzalabim came out, and I really liked the fashion. It was really reminiscent of second-gen Kpop, and I kind of started getting into them a little bit more then. So admittedly, I'm not a super fan, and I don't know every detail of every one of their music videos or their style to a T. But I'm going to give you my own interpretation of why I think it's very different for Red Velvet. Number one, the music video itself, it is quite dark, and I like that. But it lacks a bit of eccentricity that I feel like I'm a bit used to in Red Velvet music videos. That's one of the things that I think stands out the most for Red Velvet is the eccentricity, the colors, the weirdness, the oddities that you find within their music videos. Parrots, apparently. Scarlet Macaw, anyone? But for this music video, there is, that tint of eccentricity, but it's done in a more subtle way, and it definitely fits the music video, don't get me wrong. They did it in a way that really fits the whole style of it all. So in that sense, it does feel like a little bit different for me personally, because I just, have kind of come to expect that even if it is a darker concept, we can find like really weird elements. I don't know. So I found that there was a lack of weirdness, and it's not a bad thing. It's just an observation. Red Velvet does have like a specific sound. I feel like it's very like voice centric compared to a lot of other K-pop groups. So I really appreciated that about the song. Here's an honest thing. I never really appreciated Red Velvet's vocals until this song. Like, not that I thought they were bad or anything. I just never like stopped and thought about it or stopped and appreciated like their vocals. But then when Wendy first did like the falsetto voice, I think that's what it's called. Don't at me. I was blown away. I thought it was so stunning and so beautiful. But I have a question for you guys, because I feel like, especially on Instagram, a few people have said that it sounds so familiar. Like it sounds like something we've heard before. And I can't quite put my finger on it other than Cyclone by T-Pain. And when I tell people this, they're like, no. But like, hear me out, You got me feeling like a psycho, psycho. If you replace the words with, she moved her body like a cyclone, cyclone. I'm not saying they sound exactly the same, but I feel like psycho and cyclone kind of, it fits, whatever. If you get it, leave it down in the comments below. Don't let me feel like an idiot all by myself. But yeah, I feel like they have very technically good voices, and I tend to be more into emotional voices. But for some reason with this song, I feel like it's put on display in a way that is just very pleasing to me anyways. But it's also a song that I would listen to. So in my opinion, Zimzalabim and Oompa Oompa were songs that were more of an experience. Zimzalabim for sure was an experience in and of itself. You had the music video, the outfits. The song was the epitome of eccentric. That's why I liked it so much. But like, I liked the experience of it. It wouldn't necessarily be a song that I would just listen to for fun, if that makes sense. But this song, I've been listening to it every day. I think it's really pretty. But yeah, the dark lipstick, the green streaks in Seulgi's hair, the sparkly clothing. I think it was quite, simple in nature, but yet still quite effective, much like the choreography actually. By the way, I think I have chosen my bias in Red Velvet, and I think it's Seulgi. Or Sergey, as everyone keeps thinking I pronounce it. Sergey. Here's another like really random parallel, and I feel like I need to like always prepare people for the random parallels that I bring up, because sometimes there are very much a stretch, and I understand that. It's just like, just where my mind goes. Get off my... The part where they're saying psycho and they're kind of, making their legs go in and out like this, it really reminds me of Beast's fiction. It doesn't look anything the same at all, but it's more like the feeling that it evokes. Like it's the feeling of such a simple move that has such a very high impact. So I love that move. I think it's amazing. Also, I'm really in love with Wendy's blonde hair, which by the way, I learned this morning that she was injured at the SBS Gayo Daejeon Music Awards. So originally I wanted to do kind of like a performance ranking video and talk all about these performances. Then I found out that it was really unsafe, and there was just like a lot of there were some injuries and everything. So I was like, okay. I mean, I was watching Red Velvet's Psycho performance this morning, and everyone was like, get well soon, Wendy, and I thought maybe she caught a cold. I don't know. But then I found out that she actually fell off of something 2 meters high, and that she injured her pelvis, wrist, and has facial injuries. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's not okay. So according to All Kpop, the label stated during the rehearsal for 2019 SBS Gayo Daejeon today, Wendy suffered an injury. Wendy was immediately taken to the hospital, where she is currently being treated. As a result, Red Velvet are not able to attend the pre-recording and live show of the 2019 SBS Gayo Daejeon. So I think understandably a lot of people are angry at the award show. I wasn't there. I don't know, the details of everything that happened, but obviously SBS should have been better prepared safety-wise, because honestly, something like this can be very terrifying and traumatic. So I definitely understand why people are angry and upset, and especially since the show did go on after this. And then I also saw a video where Solar was walking off to somewhere, and then you hear her literally screech, and she apparently fell as well. And then there's a bunch of fan cams and little, clips of idols just slipping everywhere. It's almost as if they're on an ice rink, right? Some of them are just standing, and then you see them kind of slipping. Kevin, it's like the stage for SBS Gayo Daejeon, yeah. So stage-wise, I don't think it was good at all. I mean, in fact, there are some artists where you see them holding back. You see, they're not jumping as high. They're really reserving themselves because it's fucking dangerous. And I don't blame them. That's another reason why I'm should I really be critiquing these performances? Because they're not safe. And if they're not feeling safe, how are you going to really even give a good performance? With all that being said, everyone did amazing for being literally on a death trap. So that's basically all I had to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you watched until the end, you know there's nothing stopping you from picking another video. Yeah, comment shout out goes to this lovely individual. If you would like to be shouted out in the next video, then leave something in the comments that will touch my heart or make me laugh. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell to be notified. Bye!